Welcome back to the seventh episode of the Happiness Project, and I am your host Rena Jain. Thank you for tuning in. I want to give you some wonderful news about my podcast. My podcast is now widely available across 8 plus platforms, including Google, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and many more. And since you guys have been enormously supportive, my podcast has listeners from across the globe. Thank you all for making it reach to so many people and so many places. Please keep sharing your learnings and experiences of how my podcast has transformed your life in every little way possible. Last week, we had a host on our show who gave us some wonderful insights into nutrition that would help improve our mental health. Quite a few of you wrote to me about how you all have seen a difference in what you eat and how those food items make you feel. So now you know it's a choice that you make every day. A choice to eat healthy and feel healthy. Healthy not just physically but also mentally and spiritually. So let us move on to the episode today. There's a remarkable American author and speaker, Joyce Meyer, whose quote has stuck to me. She says that there's no happier person than a truly thankful, content person. This topic is extremely close to my heart, and this is something that I live up to every single day of my life. Let the world turn upside down, but not even a single day goes by without being grateful for where I am in my life today. Earlier, when things would get rough, I have questioned myself about a million times. Why is this happening to me? Why me? Why are my emotions getting out of control? Why do I feel stuck? I have spent time dwelling, overthinking, expecting the worst case scenarios. I've done all of that, but it simply felt like a mental block. I tried resolving difficulties from a space of fear, impulsiveness, and anxiety, which always made me feel better, but only for a moment. However, eventually led to feeling even more anxious, and hence became a pattern for every time I felt stuck, I would act out of impulsiveness. I realized there was something that wasn't feeling right, something that wasn't fitting in, something that would take away myself from feeling whole and complete. People have always seen me as fortunate, even when I was struggling with issues that have drained my mental capability. Because of the way I dealt with situations, I was always told this one thing my entire life, that life is not what happens to you, but it's about how you respond to it and what you choose to make out of it. We are all afraid to express that we are vulnerable. But why? When we were kids, we used to be open, expressive, and free. But as we grow old, we mature and realize that we live in a very painful world. A world where people give pain in return of pain, hatred for hatred, and revenge for revenge. We were never really taught to give love for pain, love for hatred, or love for revenge. Ultimately, because of what we've learned our entire lives, we build walls. We close ourselves, try to protect ourselves, which leads to self destructive behavior. We beat ourselves up for the mistakes that we make, engage into emotional defenses such as projection, and gradually, by the time we are fully ready to feel love, we realize that the entire system of functioning has been a confusion. We just don't understand what is happening, and then slowly we lose all our faith in love. For a moment, just keep everything aside: pain, regret, hatred, all the negative feelings. Think about this now. There's so much in our lives to complain about, to crib about, to hate about, or to dislike about, or simply wish to change. But when was the last time you were grateful for simple things in life? How often do you pause to appreciate what you have in life? Have you been thankful that you woke up today whilst millions of people in the world didn't have that privilege? Have you been thankful that you have the ability to feel and think while so many people are suffering from a developmental disorder called autism? Or that you're surrounded by people who love you and want the best for you? Or very basic things in life, like the food we eat, the shelter we have, or the clothes we wear, or the mentors who have shaped our perspectives, some people who taught us to love harder, the past mistakes that molded us, the failure that kept us trying, or the success that kept us moving. I have a list of more than 1,000 things to be grateful about. Maybe you're wondering, why is there a need to be grateful for all of these trivial things in life? What's going to change? My life is going on, it will still go on. But hey, no. This little thing of simply being thankful can make a huge difference in your life. There is a lot of research that suggests that being grateful can have incredible benefits in our lives. Being grateful in our lives makes us much more optimistic and happier. The universal law of attraction states that we attract what we focus on. So if you start focusing on being thankful, don't you want more things to be thankful about? I'm sure you know the answer to that. When you consciously put all your energy into your blessings, you're very clear about what you want in your life, and hence attract more things into your life. Practicing gratitude also increases satisfaction and makes you more content with your life. It generates positive feelings such as joy, enthusiasm, happiness, love, and generosity. Once you start being grateful, you learn to accept your life just the way it is. It also makes you more patient and makes you quite able to make sensible decisions. Gratitude also improves your relationships. Once you start being thankful to your partner, you tend to find so many more reasons to be thankful for. You become more satisfied in your relationship, and this in turn reduces conflict. Gratitude swiftly changes the state of your mind from restlessness to contentment. There are so many benefits of gratitude. If we could feel nurtured and more at peace with ourselves, would you still not want to practice gratitude? Of course you want to, right? So try asking yourself these questions and see where they take you. What's one very kind thing someone did for you recently? Who has helped you become a better person today? And what would you write to them? If given a chance, will you now take a moment to thank them? What's something that has touched you recently? Can you think of that moment and see how you feel? How does your body feel? What or who made you laugh today? Have you helped someone recently, and how did that make you feel? Did you take a moment and enjoy the simple pleasures in life, like eating a pastry? What was that one movie, article, or message that changed your mind into thinking and feeling better about yourself? Look around. What are the 3 things that you notice and instantly be thankful about, without which your life could have been a little paralyzed? For example, the light, sun, food, your mobile phone. Which people have transformed your life, and how do you feel about their impact in your personal growth? Think of your family. When was the last time you spent time with your family? Think about the last trip you made with them. How does it make you feel? If you didn't get what you want today, can you identify something that you have which is worth having? These questions help me appreciate things in my life that now have a bigger impact than when I experienced these situations. And I realize I can feel this way every day of my life if I'm willing to act on it by changing my mental state and prioritizing things in my life. It's always a choice. Right now, let's do an experiment together. I want you to quickly have a paper and pen on you. Once you're ready, I want you to write down 10 things that you are grateful about in your life. You can pause the podcast, write it down, and then move on to listening further. How do you feel after doing this activity? Does your mood enhance even a little bit by simply thanking for the things that you did right now? You can experience a heightened positive state of emotion after practicing gratitude. You will also notice very small shifts happening where you tend to see the positive, the good in every situation henceforth. I have been practicing gratitude in a few ways, and whatever I'm about to share is purely from my personal experience. One thing that I've been doing for about a few years now is maintaining a gratitude journal. I write down a few things that I'm grateful for every day. Initially, I thought it won't work out, but trust me, after practicing this for about 15-20 days, I suddenly noticed how my thoughts started developing into positive ones for myself and others. I started feeling calm in difficult situations. You will also tend to see how you shift your attention so that focus remains on simply feeling good. Being mindful of everyday blessings, whether they are general or specific, is all it takes. It's the little things. Gratitude journaling works because it slowly changes the way we perceive situations by adjusting what we focus on. If you write the same things over and over again, like I love my family or I love my job, you'll see you won't continue this exercise because it gets boring. However, if you find new reasons to be thankful for, and if you start noticing specific incidents that will stretch yourself beyond the great stuff in front of you, you'll look forward to maintaining a journal. So be very specific, like my driver drove me back home, and that spared me some time to read a book on my way back. Or my mom made such delicious food today that every bite of it reminded me of how thankful I am for having a privilege to be fed such heavenly food. So don't limit yourself. If journaling is feeling stale, try out new and creative ways to track your grateful moments. Another thing that I've been practicing for a while is expressing gratitude. This is something that you can do often. It doesn't cost you much. The more you express gratitude, the happier you are. You can simply write a letter to someone you love or drop a thank you message. For example, you can post a sticky note on your colleague's desk. This will surprise them. You might think it is weird or awkward, so be it. You only have to focus on the smile that will accompany the thank you note. Mostly people find happiness in giving more than receiving. I do. When we are thankful to others, it feeds our own hearts too. And finally, understand that not all people get the same opportunities you get. Not all situations feel like rich learning experiences or opportunities while they happen. Some are messy and challenging and even hurtful in the moment when our feelings are tied up in a reaction. In the world of social media, it's very easy to take our lives for granted, especially when you open your Instagram, scroll through your feed, and see some people getting married or some others celebrating their birthdays in New York. Because of the social pressure, we end up complaining and not appreciating the small things in life. And guess what? Some people don't even have the privilege to be where you are at this point of time in your life. Some people don't even have the privilege to receive education. My point is, there is always going to be something to be unhappy about. But again, it's what you choose to give attention to is what matters. So, can you for once count your blessings? We all feel that the grass is always greener on the other side. But hey, no, the grass is greener where you water it. We can sit around and stress about our problems all we want, trying to force a solution. But sometimes the best way to fix what isn't working is to first focus on what is. Everything gets easier when we move past fear and desperation and nurture a grateful, hopeful heart. Thank you for joining me this week on the Happiness Project. Stay tuned and make sure you never miss a single episode of the show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for all your support. And if you like this episode, please share it with as many people as you can. Because sometimes all it takes is one push for someone to transform their lives. Let this podcast be that push.